Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My salutations to all of you today in this beautiful evening. I have been really privileged to be a part of this beautiful platform, a wonderful, warm platform founded by K. Kumar Prasanna, whose invitation has given me a lot of enthusiasm to participate in this solo poetry recital of my recent book, Pocket Full of Wonders. Let me tell you that I am a poetess by passion, a teacher by profession, and I have written 3 poetry books till today. The first one is The Spectrum of Emotions. Second is Poets Across Borders. Third is this one, The Pocket Full of Whispers. And I've written 1,500 anthologies till today, and 70 articles and 50 short stories. And I have been a recipient of many awards, and that has given me a lot of motivation to move ahead with the literary journey. And today it is a privilege, an honor to be getting this wonderful opportunity to present my third solo poetry book, The Pocket Full of Whispers. I hope I can show you this. This is the book. I hope this is visible to all of you. So this is the book cover. This is the back cover. I will show you the back cover also. And I want to say something about this book. This book is actually the emotions that was unvoiced, unspoken. We have a lot of emotions that remain unvoiced, even unspoken. And Pocket Full of Whispers was collected in the quiet spaces between survival and speech, in the geometry that was left bare and undefined after the lamp was blown out, in the margins of textbooks that became Odysseys, in the aftermath of war, where love's whisper paints a canvas of peace. So that is the prime concern over this creation of mine. This is my third creation. And here I have assembled maximum possibilities of themes from the iconic poets, their creations, till nature, love, empathy, sorrows, pain, the life of certain characters, and our society, injustices, equality, everything is assembled under one book. So before I begin my poetic journey here with my rendition here, I want to relate a line from the quotes of one of my favorite poet, that is William Shakespeare, from the book As You Like It. And all the men and women, mere merely players, they have their exits and their entrances. I'm sure you all are aware of this. This is a very popular and well-known quote written by William Shakespeare. and it is taken from his book, As You Like It. It is related to human relationships, social roles, or the different identities we carry. So my first poem is related to this, and I will go by that. The title is Written in Heaven's Embrace. A dignified path that irradiant spirits binded us in a prismatic mirror of our own realm, where a spectrum of colors strikingly bright and radiant aglow, effulgent in our own cosmos, in search of happiness that inflow. Our souls have filtered each other's trust, but our bodies concord to a hallowed approbation. We strongly unite in the oblivion of a stark, stoic splendor as camarades in our journey to heaven. We simply sensitize our surrender. In heartbreaks, in sobriety, we hold each other in a solicitude. We engender zeal and behold our long journey together, entwining into a cord of golden light, which dazzles in an enigma and permits a magical resplendence. Into those stars we twinkle like gleaming bulbs, sparkling in an undestined life that we never imagined, where the darkness of the eerie night inspires us to emblazon our eternal love with our austomous perspicuity. Let this illumination bring our hearts together into a nirvana, embracing each other and smiling with a sublimity. We, being the soulmates of each other, may merge in the colossal world of seraphic gardens, singing a song of selfless love, an eternal peace that will glorify our relationship into a zenith of adoration. Echoes of such legacy will be heard in whispers, in astral dwelling where two of us reside in our pilgrimage. So that was the first poem I recited. Now, I have always, wondered that when there is a place of beauty in our life, how that place really attracts us, amazes us, astonishes us. Do we always see nature in front of us? Do we admire that, gift of God there? Or we are just busy and engrossed in the, so-called, this, just the way a tourist visit a place and, is always occupied with the places, number of places that has to be counted in between their trip. What is that which amazes? For me as a poet, that particular place seems to me the divine, creation of God. And I spend a lot of time in the early morning just admiring the mountains, the seas. If I'm going to a sea, if I'm going to a mountain, if I'm going to a hill or valleys or the meadows or the grasslands, I am in an awe. So here is my next presentation with the title of this poem, Winter's Whisper, Summer's Song. This is, dedication to nature, to the, beauty of one of the India's most celebrated place in the northern part of India, and we call it Kashmir. Kashmir's beauty lies in snow-capped peaks, where winter embraces the silent mists. Frost-filled leaves and icy streams are effulgent, a frozen land that mesmerizes us in a vibrant dream. Snowflakes whisper, kindling divine passion, romance tingle in every sense in silent whispers. In my visit to this dreamland, with aspirations unbound, a surfing in phenomenal dash in an enigma, my receptivity of the majestic mountains and the lakes reflected to a mirror of my soul that surrendered. In cognitive tenderness, I felt the warmth of winter's love, how nature extends its beauty in many cosseted forms. With summer, Kashmir receives a scintillating grace. Gulmar's blossom and river Jhelam's gentle hush, from Srinagar's caress and Dal Lake's snuggle. The valley blooms with thousand hues. In love's beautiful embrace, roses attract the heart's contentment. Lovers wander hand in hand in secret embrace. Pleasant rivulets fill the brooks and rivers, cherishing and fantasizing kings and their aristocracy in the bygone era. Kashmir's beauty remains a glorified testimony to nature's artistry, where seasons brighten the verb of its eclectic charm. The mighty mountains refer to its majestic grandeur, opening gardens in its lap with vibrant beauty. Shalimar Bagh, Nishad Bagh, and Chashme Shahi stun the spectators with perfect Mughal designs, terraced lawns, and serene water channels. A leisurely walk amidst the colorful flowers is ideal for a family's trip to an imperial retreat. Her royal reception once did change moods amidst the fountains and the emboldened dance to enamor the Mughal legacy in its magical voice and perfect affinity. Mughals ruled here. They really gifted us something which we still treasure as our heritage. Kashmir is indeed beautiful, and we must keep it alive. We must visit Kashmir whenever we get an opportunity. I want to share this thought with you. This is from Shakespeare's King Lear. When we are betters see bearing our woes, we scarcely think our miseries are foes. Who alone suffers? Suffers most I, the mind. This is about suffering, empathy, and invisible burdens. And can we relate this to some woman who really uplift that burden in their silence without even speaking a word, without even complaining, just going on with their habitual journey. So for those women, I've written this, Her Worth Unseen. The title of this poem is Her Worth Unseen. A never-ending journey of proving her worth. In the eyes of strangers and in the gaze of loved ones, she is forever on trial. Proceeding through ephemeral filters, a constant scrutiny. A life lived in shadow of validation, seeking truth, she walks the tightrope of expectations, balancing doubt and determination. In school life, she navigated gang wars, being a silent observer. Silent repressions veiled beneath fake smiles. Cliques and hierarchies has always whispered her worth, sometimes being weighted down under language, her voice lost in translation. Every moment she was tormented with a repression, stripped of confidence. Her voice never could blossom. Her dreams didn't receive that cuddle nor a gentle touch. They withered away like the autumn leaves, unexplored and unvoiced in a world of inhibitions, immature and unearthed, lost before they could take roots. Women have been confronting challenges to prove their mettle. In a world where biases run deep and equality is still a battle, in every step, when her father or husband dies, society's gaze questions her worth, discriminating to an ensnare. A life bottled into sorrows, lack of confidence to vociferate. Women have been subjugated to societal dictates and taboos, their voices stifled and their choices debated, their genuine rights often subjected under the chains of patriarchy. Even their own gender often perpetuates the cycle. internalized patriarchy as a silent killer, a mindset that needs a change today to liberate the victim from the chains of suppressed notions, a lifelong conditioning threatening under societal norms must be eradicated over the flesh and blood storms. Equal footing is a major need to exist in a world where men and women both govern a life that fulfills the dreams of a home. So women should get a very, very relaxing life without being under trial, without being always suspected or something or the other, for equality and social acceptance. And I have been a great fan of Jane Austen, and I have read the book Pride and Prejudice so many times. So, one line I would like to put from there, and I would like to share with all of you. It's like, till this moment, I never knew myself. If this be the truth, I have been blind. And yet, perhaps, I have never truly seen myself. So, this is about an introspection. And my next poem is about an introspection. Now, you know the poet or the author who is writing poems. You read the books, you read the poems, you have a criticism or an appreciation for that person. But actually, do you know the person inside who wants a flame to really, uh, you know, uh, get light, get the light of their own sensitivity, get the light to speak what they want to say? I think at times it remains uh, suppressed. So over my, life, I have something to say to all of you, and this is through my next poem. The title I have given is I Am Life. I am life. In a Bugeste, I introspect my own self into a garden. Like a flower bed, I spread my fragrances to freshen. Into that path of harmony, I explore a spiritual Zion. I am that harmonia who balance calmness and deliberate impulse. I am that cosplayer who turns moments of apprehension to a sea of smiles that transforms dissection. Upsurge in my vision to come out of my shell. Like a periwinkle, I struggled immensely to yell, to lit my own light and share my happiness, to show the world my innocence and my passion through kindliness. I'm inspired to chase certain manifestations where life will divulge me as the lady with the lamp through my expressions. Like a nightingale, I nest in the hearts with my melodies that are unheard. I am that songbird whose song excites for joy and merriment. I am a cool breeze who whispers to ease the disturbance. In the calmness and tranquility of the perched night, I sparkle like the fleeted fireflies to illuminate with light. I am a friend to all those who need me in silent reciprocations. I am a brook that flows in its own speed, being a celebrant of my foundation. Like a temple, I ring the bell of conscious fulfillment. Like a paintbrush, I color all my good wisdom into a picture with resilience. I am an explorer whose expedition is to find the truth into the complexities where desperate souls dive into malpractices. So this was about my, expressions. Uh, a little bit is left. I'll continue. In the mirror, where I see myself as Ophelia, my simplicity adorns my beauty in every enthymia. I am a book whose unread pages still anticipate for readers, where poetry impassion my silence, being a cheerleader. I fly high in the blue azure, unaware of the worldly puzzles. I glide and rise to enjoy a freedom where peace cuddles my desires. I am a voice for those who are abandoned. I am a hope for those who are susceptible to social taboos. I can kindle passion and generate a reliance with my benevolence that expect a compliance. For devoting life with children, I find a new resource. For teaching good values seem to me a renewed course. Echoes that kindle and enflame to my silenced vigor for the injustices that torment my soul over a whimper. I anchor my sail into a new destination where I receive more optimism and more vivacity over a new definition. So that was the conclusion of that poem. And I relate a very, very strong feeling that I was really very much, I am really fond of William Wordsworth. And the first, tingling sensation that comes in my mind is about his poem Daffodils. And I am always fanatic about reciting that poem Daffodils. Whoever visits my house or I am engaging in some poetry recital event, I'm like, if I get an opportunity, I'll definitely recite that poem Daffodils by William Wordsworth. And over this inspiration from him, I have tried to write a poem connecting it to his poem as a tribute to him. So here is my next poem, Daffodils. Daffodils, the gifted beauty of nature is my title. The long iridescent tail of peacocks fans the urge in their mating time to declare a union and upsurge. Cuckoos, orioles, American robins, warblers, thrushes migrate northwards. Their barns and caves await their cherished preening and incubation. A kaleidoscope of beautiful daffodils, crocuses, irises, tulips bloom, opening their buds to welcome spring in different colors. Countless works of art adorn its beauty, as the daffodils gently whispers to emblazon its charm symbolically. An honor and pride to the pride of the nature that adorned the poem, William Wordsworth embossed his fascinations with verses to his spectrum. The first signs of spring, enigmatic and attractive, daffodils allure love and romance that are seductive, gifted in bunches to adorn a smile. Eyes sparkle with a gleam to resonate the urge to embrace. In my canvas, I paint those curving and dancing of flowers generously in their gaiety. They cheerfully greet the verdure unabashed. In my wonderment, as I am lost in the Odyssey, the vibrant tones of daffodils attract bees with nature's melody. This astounded my spirits to capture the beauty, bereft of the music to treasure in a painting. I feel like that I am painting everything while I read that poem, Daffodils. And I always feel that the flowers are embracing all of us in their own, enthusiasm. The hyacinth, tentative to flutter in the winds, blooming and blossoming with a jaunty smile, the reflection of the sun, venerating its magnificence, caressing its petals with a gentle glare. Yet the tiny lamb bleats in an elation, exclaiming the splendor that bestows glory to nature. Running down the meadows, the little tribal girl chuckled, filling her basket with the attractive daffodils to her admirance. So that was the poem. And we women, we are so much habituated, or we really love, some women really love adorning themselves. They love wearing so much of jewelries, bindi, like I'm wearing, and they love, wearing some bows, at the back of the hair. They love wearing some cosmetics. They apply them to look beautiful. Moreover, the most, attractive thing that a woman really ornates herself are the bangles. Bangles really speak for their, vivacity, their charm, their grace, and their existence. That femininity really blooms and blossoms and really unfurls through an enthusiasm when we hear the tinglings and the sounds of the bangles. And, I am a fond uh, fan and what should I say, a real uh, follower of the most famous poet of India, Sarojini Naidu. And I always read her poem. I'm so mesmerized with her aura, how significantly she has related every single, voice in the freedom movement, about our society as a whole, about the commoners, the common people, the weavers, the bangle sellers, okay, and the farmers, the freedom fighters, about everybody. She had that kind of respect and admiration for the general common people as a whole. And I really am a person who respect the commoners most. And that is why I'm so much attracted to Sarojini Naidu's poems. So her poem Bangle Sellers have given me a lot of, meaning in my life, in really being passionate about her poems. So over the poem Bangle Sellers, here is a tribute to Sarojini Naidu through my poem, which has been inspired by her creations. Bangle sellers who fascinate. Bangle sellers are we who bears, with a zealous squeal to rampant desires, sanctiloquent cheers that a salubrious heart chant, for the tender hands to cradle the baby to enchant, epaulet, waistband, jewelers, and earrings. Near an edifice would cogitate while you're exploring. Colors of life that emboss your sweat. In Vegas gold, crimson, and pink with an unfettered barret. Sitting in the scorching heat, we yell to welcome the visitors in this temple. Never fear of colors to welt. These glasses are the dignity of maidens. With empathetic cheer and far merit will wear in her sinewy wrists that define her flair. In wanton concord, the aristocracy will validate the grace. The zamindar would beckon to a vainglories for his wife in a chase. The night will glorify the hope of those ebullient sisters who wait for their brothers to return from war fronts with love of sprinklers. Those maidens will cradle a diffident smile in a whisper. From a sequestration, they will blush at the sound of the red bangles in their prayers. Like in most Indian women, they love to wear red bangles. That is symbolic of being married. And the maidens, they wait for their turn when they will get married. They will wear those bangles. And when I was also unmarried, I used to also think, and when I will wear shaka and pola, in Bengali households, shaka and pola is very, very a ritualistic factor for wedding. And we really wait for a turn when we'll get married, and we'll wear shaka and pola and shidur. That means the vermilion. uh, that is the most you know uh, precious thing in a Bengali wedding. In Indian weddings, we really look for this ritual of wearing a vermilion, and then the bindi. This is the bindi, and the bangles. Some people wear glass bangles, some people wear shakha pola like Bengalis. We really love wearing that. And uh, coming to my next poem, I will just relate it to poetry because, I am here, and all of you who are listening to this, program, all of you are connected to poetry. You all love poetry. I'm passionate about poetry, and poetry has given a true meaning in life, true identity of me as a poetess to exist in the fraternity. I always feel without poetry, how would I live? Without writing, how would I exist? A poet cannot be, uh, imagined without his poetry or her poetry. And poetry is something which instills a lot of good virtues, which instills compassion and harmony, which instills peace and brotherhood. So poetry is significant for all of our, existential, uh, uh, you know, existential reasons. So for me, a passionate person like me, uh, poetry is my passion. So over that, my next poem is Poetry and Pen, a Divine Duet. I have written this in this manner. When poetry asked the pen in a divine pleasure, "What's the secret you have held so tight?" The pen whispered, "I've written tales of night, of hearts that beat, of love and endless fight. I'm just a tool, but the words ignite." Then the poetry smiled and said, "It's not the tool, but the hand that writes. The heart sings a melody, and the soul kindles the fire. The poet's inner sight weaves dreams into words. With metaphors and similes, it paints the canvas of the mind." Now the pen nodded in silent grace, acknowledging the truth in an oblivion, in poetry's sacred space. Are you the scribe of emotions that brings life to the page? Are you that magic which transforms mere words in heartfelt sage? The pen replied, "I am just a humble guide. The magic's in the heart, where emotions reside. When the poet is ecstatic, simple words turn into eloquent whispers of the soul's deep tide. The pen says again, "With you as a fragrance of sacrosanctity, I flow as ink, and the words take flight. Like a bird, my wings are spread, and I soar into the light. In gentle debates at times, I differ from you, yet my string of love resonates to say, I cherish our bond forever as real partners in the dance of words, where hearts reveal generously a true soliloquy of emotions raw and love's sweet symphony. In the silence, our connection finds harmony. Your ink is my real rhythm where love's verses come alive. As you and me are inseparable, like the dance of ink and paper. And in that stage, our creative hearts thrive. We are one as our spirits create a new foundation, where words become the bridge between hearts. In the beauty of creation, our bond is art, and in every line, love's essence is written. So, at times I feel that as an artist, since I paint and I love painting, I felt that if ever I create some puppets, and between that puppets, one puppet will be ink, one puppet will be poetry, one puppet will be pen. So how will that puppet show be? There will be a puppet theater, and how that those puppets will be, entangling with each other. They will be in conversation with each other, interacting with each other. How that puppet show will be. Often I imagine this, often I feel that there is a strong bond between poetry and pen. There is a strong bond between the poet and poetry. So, coming to the next poem, I will come to the fact that I have been very, very pained and in a strong introspection, I was thinking deeply about the effects of war that has taken into this world nowadays. Why the superior countries, the developed countries, are using nuclear weapons, are using manifestations over, surgical strikes, are using certain bombs to devastate another country. They are not understanding the commoners, the civilians. They are losing their lives. They're killing those commoners. They're not killing the enemies, they're killing the humanity in ourselves. We have to keep humanity alive. We have to keep harmony alive. We have to end this war. And that will begin from our understanding of each other. That will begin from the fact that one person will have complete trust for another. One person will significantly believe in themselves first, that they will be the promoters of love, peace, harmony, solidarity. They will come together and hold each other's. They will be standing beside each others for support whenever it is required. They will be gentle, they will be polite, they will be humble. They will always understand others and respect each other. Respect is very, very important. Without respecting others, we cannot love others. So, over this wars and the wound it has created on humanity, I have written my next poem. Wars wound, peace's cure. Vouchsafe with the cognizance that the ripples of kindness that calm life's troubled lake are the seeds of compassion that we sow, to cultivate amelioration, camaraderie, and laughter into a peace loving world where love and happiness bloom, yet violent, destructive storms rampage harmony. There is no reason for hostility, nor there are any repentance on genocide in ferocity. Like volatile compounds, detestation and abhorrence persist. Riots are like the dark clouds penetrating a clear sky, leaving destruction in their wake, defiling humanity in its most vehement ugliness. Many chagrins unveil the carnage that leave us speechless, a doubt that never fades. Will we ever choose love over hate? Or the turbulent strikes in each other's country will endanger humanity, and the steam from the shotguns extinguish the fragile frame of peace? A silent mourning, a chest beaten tragedy will never revive. The lost lives, the shattered dreams, the empty laps of mothers, the vermilion on the forehead will perhaps curse the hands that pulled the trigger, sows the seeds of pain. Misery and bereavement will always shake their hands. Echoes of gunfires and unsheltered cries incessantly might befall a wrath of the bruised souls indirectly, and the cycled hate will perpetuate its deadly spree. Let Let's reflect on breaking the chain and bring forth the conscience to let peace be our guide before the world to lose its breath in violence. We can accord kindness to be the language that all hail. No more bloodshed, no more martyrs, no more stabbing humanity with innocence. Let's rise above, speak for the goodwill, uplift peace as a legacy that we leave behind for future generations to boost. Let love be the anthem that echoes through time, and with empathy, we gift humanity to redeem its prime. Let love be the anthem. This is what I appeal to all through my poem. Let love be the anthem. As a few minutes back, I related to you that I am an ardent fan of the poetess Sarojini Naidu. She was a great poetess. She was a great freedom fighter. she had a lot of contributions in our freedom fighting, in reviving our so called freedom from the colonial rule. I admire her personality a lot. I derive a lot of inspiration from her strength, from her, confidence, her determination. Whatever she has done for our country is praiseworthy, is always admirable. I admire her, I adore her, I worship her. She is a lady whom we all must praise and adulate. Her poem, Indian Dancers, have a significance in the history of Indian literature, significance in the history of Indian English poets. So, me being an Indian contemporary English poetess, I really felt that I should write a few lines on this inspiration from her poem, Indian Dancers. And I've given the title of my next poem as Versatile Indian Dancers. Versatile Indian dancers propense to beguile, wearing silk saris like barbettes in a brine. In a bevy with bated breath, they synchronize the body gestures, being adherent. Unabashed to express the umbrage with eyes, their enigma in various gestures were so divine. Their neat plate with flowers spelled a conjuration. Their golden armlets spawned adulation. With the netty chutti studded with kundan allure with admiration, their subtle smiles augmented a spectacular interpretation of folk tales and traditional lifestyle, of fables and ancient history, the citation of exemplary courage, of kings and the daemons' repugnant scourge. With magnificent expressions, they astounded the gallery. Like the killocks, their firm faith abated, complementing their steps. Their oblivious smiles have the semblance of an opium, as they signified a magical fragrance of mystifying rose. Their florid cheeks and glorified expressions appealed, the ornaments that shone over their voluptuous bosom connoting emotions of despair and melancholy, bouncing and prancing with expert finesse, they sensitize with a striking agglomeration, their gentle rhythms and tender feet, my heartfelt tribute to poetess Sarojini Naidu. Coming to the end of this session, this is my last presentation from this book, Pocket Full of Whispers. There are so many whispers through so many poems in this book. If you are an ardent lover of various themes, do connect to the Amazon link, which I have provided in my uh, timeline on Facebook, and you can grab one copy for yourself. Only Indian poets can get into the link. This is in amazon.in. The next poem is about a puppet. As you can understand from my expressions that I am very much fanatic about puppets. I love puppet shows. I love, making puppets also. I have done a lot of workshops on puppet shows for my own students, and they have really enjoyed the puppet shows whenever it was organized. So over that, the life of a puppet I have personified. I've imagined that if you feel that it is a living being, how the sensitivity goes over a puppet's mind and thoughts. So the title is My Limbs Are Painted Wood, a Cage I Cannot Break. My world is a stage of polished wood. My heart remembers the wild wind's soothing songs. Amusing others and enlivening a throng, I'm a puppet tied to a stick to perform. The puppeteer's subtle hand and arm movements validate my appearance and dancing to amuse and entertain. With the rod to grip my movements in sensational turns, I am under this control to vacillate my ego recline in a sport. For long I have been under this influence, acting like a young bride, as I have been embellished with. Some embroidery, beadwork, sequins, and zari enhance my costume, appealing as radiant and beautiful to delight. My elegance and grace evoke a specific aura, that my light shines brighter than the evening star. Children enjoy and laud as I dance and glide. Their innocence lifts my spirits high. Although unknown, it is to many my strained, thorny path. How under a great weight I regress into a narrow pass. My life, a puppet's misery into the hands of a manipulation. As marionette of fate, I have been painted a smile. As a mask of joy, I am in the quiet rage in silent screams. The silken cords feel like shackles. The puppeteer's hand is on my sky. His commands and coordination is my sun. I am that ship without a sail, a dancer without the freedom to encapsulate. My designed smile hides the grief and fury as I want to enjoy a life out of this unseen wooden shadow. Yearning for the world beyond the stage, I still await to feel the rain and not just a borrowed painted drop, where I can glide in the winds and see the bright, colorful rainbow to spellbind. So that was the concluding poem of this poetry recital session. And I want to show this book once again. Who are just joining, please check the book. If you are eager to read this book, please go to Amazon, and from the Amazon link, please purchase one copy and please give me your feedback how you like the book. There are various themes, various connections to various feelings, emotions in my whispers, which you will relate to after reading. And I wholeheartedly thank this wonderful platform, the Fertile Brains, who has always given me the pride of being a participant every time in this, in this platform. My earnest gratitude to Mr. K. Kumar Prasanna, who is a very, very good human being, a very concerned soul, a very, very compassionate person, very friendly, and always understanding. Without Mr. K. Kumar Prasanna's invitation, this wouldn't have possible, that I have got this opportunity to connect to all of you here today. Thank you, everyone. I hope as much as I have enjoyed this session reciting my poetry, you too have enjoyed this session as a viewer hearing me recite. Thank you so much for being here and inspiring me, supporting me, raising my confidence, and giving me more encouragement to write further, because I am a poet. You all are poets. Thank you. Namaskar.